to my channel. It's Angela, and welcome back to, right now, it is 9 a.m., January 1st, 2025. Doing the card of the month for December of 2024. I was going to do this last night, and then my job has got me so wore out. I came home from work and just went to sleep. I didn't ring in the new year. I didn't do anything. I just was like, nope, and went to bed. So I'm up now to do this video. Do this video every month. I pull a year ahead spread in January 1st or December 31st the year before. I haven't done it, so I need to do it today for the year ahead spread. And then every month I go into detail at the end of the month that specific card that I pulled. If I sound gravelly or whatever, I'm also sick now, which also helped promote the chaos of December, because my card of the month of December was the Tower card. This is the deck I've been using all year. It's the Spirit Song Tarot by Paulina Cassidy. It's a US Games deck. I didn't rarely ever use this deck, so I decided in 2024 that I would use this deck as my year ahead spread. It kind of helps me bond with the deck and kind of connect with it in a way that I wouldn't normally connect with the deck. I do love this deck because, first of all, the coloring is beautiful, the artwork is beautiful, but it also has keywords at the bottom. And yeah, it was a Tower December for sure. I couldn't wait to do this video just because I'm like, but I had to wait till December was over to make sure nothing else happened in the month. Because a lot of stuff happened in December that almost made me crack. And I'm just like, well, what is happening? And then I realized, yes, it's a Tower month for sure. And once I remembered at the very beginning of the month that it was a Tower month, I couldn't help but see just the snowball effect it had of just crap piling up. And I'm like, what is happening? I know I didn't manifest it, but it almost felt like I did in a way, because I knew not going into the month, but I knew quite early on that it was a Tower month. So I just kept looking out for things that would be considered a Tower thing, and it was just like I said, a snowball effect. The avalanche got bigger and bigger and bigger, and I'm like, ugh. And now that it's over, I'm like, thank God. I don't know what January holds. I haven't done the spread yet, so we'll see. Maybe it's another Tower month. I don't know. I have my coffee here with me this morning. It's so good. My husband just confirmed also another dream I had. I have weird dreams in the new moon. We just had a new moon Monday. And all the week after Christmas, last week, which was last Wednesday, today's Wednesday, New Year's Day. Last Wednesday was Christmas Day. From that night on, I was having these horrible, horrible nightmares. And I'm like, it's got to be near the new moon. And when I looked it up, the new moon was literally the next day, Monday. And I'm like, of course, that explains why I'm having all these crazy-ass dreams. And I had a couple dreams back-to-back in one night. And one of them kept bothering me because it took place in New Orleans. And there was all these people there, and I kept hearing 40 people, and then my husband this morning said there was a shooting, or somebody ran over in his car, plowed through a barricade at 3 a.m. this morning in New Orleans, killing, it was 40 people total, 20 were killed, and 20 more were injured, and it just freaked me out, because it was almost like, again, every time I have these crazy-ass dreams in the new moon, they're they're almost always some kind of prophetic dream that something's coming, something's going to happen, and then that was kind of confirmed this morning, and it just freaked me out. And now I'm just sitting here going, ugh, I need to get this video over with so I can forget about the Tower card. But if you don't know, I usually draw a deck in the beginning of the year. I'll pull a deck, and I will only use that deck for that specific year ahead spread, and I will go back to it each month. And I do variations of it every year. This year I'm just doing the one card and then pulling out a the card of the year from different decks, just to remind myself of what the card of the year is, because I often forget if I don't. The card of the year this year is, or for 2024, and this is from my new Desert Illuminations Tarot, the Wheel of Fortune, was my card of the year for 2024. It's weird because it's card 10, and I just calculated my new card of the year for 2025, and it jumped 10. So it's the Judgment card, and I'm like, oh crap. So I'm sure there's going to be a lot of self-judgment and self-sabotage this year. That's exactly how I feel when I pulled that card. I'm like, crap, this is my year for self-sabotage. Maybe it's my year I'll overcome self-sabotage and self-judgment. But I did want to show you my new favorite card, because the Judgment card and I don't really get along. But the newest is from the Desert Illuminations too. I freaking love this card. They're beaming up a cow in the alien spaceship. I love it. But I'm like, maybe if we can inject some of this kind of humor in 2025 in the Judgment card, I won't feel so it's out to get me kind of feeling, because that's how I felt. But the Wheel of Fortune has been interesting to take a look at in dynamic with the card of the month each month that I've had. It's been very interesting. And as I used to see this as a, oh crap, like my fortunes are waning even worse than they are, I've really taken stock of what the Wheel of Fortune means to me specifically in each month. And I've come to, I no longer stress over this card. I just feel medium now, because I know it's a flick of the wrist. It's a I don't know what I'm trying to say. Things go up, but also things come down. What goes up must come down. What goes, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's the forever wheel of change, and I hate change, and that's probably why I have never really cared for the Wheel of Fortune, because I always thought of it as just getting worse, fortune. But I'm realizing throughout this year, it being my card of the year, that sometimes you need to grab hold of the fortune that's coming your way, or it's going to bypass you. You have to reach out and take it, much like the Four of Cups, where you see the person pouting, and they're literally being handed a gift of, here, take it. All you have to do is reach out and take it. So that's kind of what I felt about with the Wheel of Fortune this year, whereas before I was like, cringy. Now I find it neutral. And ironically, I've never had negative feelings about the Tower card. I know it can be a card that is, everything comes crashing down, and I'm going to show you some cards here in a minute. But it's also a card of starting over, and I've started over many times. And maybe that's why I don't have harsh feelings toward the Tower card, because I know that it can be cathartic. It can be a card of starting fresh. New beginnings aren't always a bad thing. And I've learned that from experience. And so, yeah. So even looking at the Tower, though, this month in a specific honed in kind of way, I'm just like, wow, it's really kicked my butt this month. So, without further ramble, because I feel like I'm just rambling on, we have release and revelation in the tower. And that is quite interesting that this specific deck, and it's always interesting to me that every time I do a year ahead spread, the deck I choose, even, I learned something just from the deck I chose. And this is one of those moments because there was a lot of revelations in the month of December. I don't know why I keep saying October. We're already in January 2025, whole new year. There was a lot of revelations in the month of December also, with a release of things going on as well. So let me tell you my list, because I wrote down a list of things that happened in December. So, as you know, I've been telling you guys, my job has been expanding. And for some reason, they keep expanding every area but shipping. And now we're at the point where we need a third person in there. It's kicking our butts. I mean, we're going home every night just exhausted. Not able to do anything extra, like clean house, do anything, because we're just so tired. And I've been working overtime every single day. I'm exhausted. I'm done. And I'm like, dude, you got to get somebody else in here to help us. And that really came to a head on Friday the 13th. We had over 800 contacts we were shipping out. And I was just done. I was like, I can't continue like this. You're killing me, Smalls. And it was yes, people came in at the end of the day and helped, but if we had a third person in there helping throughout the entire day, there wouldn't be, you know what I'm saying, there wouldn't be that much to do at the end of the day. And so I think that was reiterated to my boss this past week, and it really sunk into him. Well, if there's 9 people in here at the end of the day helping these two, maybe there should be a third person in there. I would say maybe there should be a fourth person, but despite that, I almost quit on the 13th, Friday the 13th. I almost, you know what? Here's my badge. Have a good day. And walked out. It was that bad. And I'm like, ugh. And everybody's tensions were high. Everybody's just crazy. Then, so stressed out to the max, to the point of almost quitting my job without having any recourse of anything coming down the pike. I had a couple meetings after that, which I think helped them understand, if anybody knows what it takes and how many people it takes to get this job done, it's me, because I've been doing it solo for years. And now that I've got a person in there helping me, that hasn't changed. I still know what it takes when we're getting more and more and more work every day. We're still expecting another 500 to 600 lenses by February. So the next 2 months are going to be horrible if we don't get a third person in there. It's going to be bad. And I've been saying this for months. And then we found out, I actually caught something that the system was doing that, and it was just, it was just a madhouse, just stressful to the max. So that was Friday the 13th of December. And that is when I was like, what is my card of the year or the month? And I looked it up. I'm like, of course it's the Tower card. It wouldn't be anything else. And then just snowball from there. So then I will jump ahead a little bit. So then last Friday, which was the week of Christmas was Wednesday, the 27th of December, they were letting people leave early, and we were in there getting our butt kicked in the shipping area. And I'm like, why are you letting my help go? Because all the people that come in at the end of the day that have nothing to do, they were letting leave. And I'm like, there's no help. Why are you letting all the help leave? We wound up not really needing it, so that kind of calmed me down. But I was pissed because I'm like, first of all, I am the shipping department pretty much. I have a helper in there, but she still doesn't know. I mean, she knows everything, but she doesn't know it to the point I do. Like, who to call if something breaks down, who to call UPS if there's an issue with the package or something like that. I'm the one that does all that. So I'm also the one that, if everybody else leaves, I'm the one that has to stay there when UPS shows up late or early or not at all, because that's happened. And so it just really irritated me that they were letting people leave when I never have that option, because someone has to stay behind for UPS. And I'm not a boss or nothing. And that's what irritated me also, was like, I will never have the option as a regular employee to get to leave early, because everybody just leaves me. And it irritated me so bad this past Friday. And I was just like, I gotta find a different job. I mean, I love the people and I love the job itself, but sometimes it irritates me because they don't understand what it takes to do my job. It's irritating. So that was December 27th. So back to December 14th, my uncle passed away. And again, this was after I'd already realized, crap, this month is a tower month. My uncle that my mom told me all these years was the second oldest, was actually the one that was born right before her. She's one of 12. And he was born right before her. And she is the only one that didn't show up. And so I showed up. And it was kind of odd, because I kept getting people asking me, where's your mother? Where's your mother? And I'm like, your guess is as good as mine. I'm not my mother's keeper. Like, I don't answer for her. We don't have a relationship. You know that. So why are we talking? And so that kind of irritated me. We'd also brought up a lot of revelations, because I found out that my mom had been lying to me my whole life. And my uncle was not the second oldest. He's the one literally born right before her. They were the closest, and everybody couldn't figure out why my mom, of all people, didn't show up for his funeral, because they were the closest in age. And I'm like, I don't understand that either, obviously. And it just, again, with the revelations, and then there were stories I was hearing, and it kind of irritates me that I get around all my family members and they start telling me stories and things, and I'm just like, that's not the life I grew up with. Like, I grew up in a horrible situation with this person that you're telling me did this and this and this. And I'm like, I can't connect. So that's part of why I'm kind of like the black sheep of the family, because I stay away from all the negative. I stay away from all the things they're telling me about a person that I've never met, because I've only known her as a separate entity from what they're describing. Even now, when we have conversations, I have to wind up hanging up or like letting go of the phone call. And so release was a big thing in there too, because again, I heard stories I'd never heard. I'd heard of things, situations I had never heard, and I'm like, ugh. And once again, it is another layer of the rotten onion that is my relationship with my mother being peeled back. And I'm like, of course, because it's a tower month. And not to belittle the fact that my uncle passed also. It was her brother. He was the oldest boy. He was a good guy. Everybody loved him. And the fact that he died right before Christmas kind of sucks, because I know his 6 children and many grandchildren were missing him terribly on Christmas. I did my top tower cards in September 22nd video. I will post that link below if I can remember it. I was in a whole tower funk in the month of September, which is my birthday month. So I'm not going to show a whole lot of cards here that show the tower, just because you've seen them all recently. And then my Secret Santa, we did a Secret Santa on December 24th. And my Secret Santa, we pulled Secret Santa 3 weeks before, like the very beginning of December. She waits until we're all doing gifts. She left the room. Didn't come back till everybody was opening gifts. And I was trying to open the gift she got me. And I couldn't. I could see in the bag, but I couldn't open it because she had it knotted so hard. She comes back from the bathroom after knowing we were all trying to do our thing here. She snatches the bag out of my hand and tells me in that moment that she just found out the night before it is against her religion to give or receive gifts from strangers, from people that are not her family members. So she snatched the bag from me and took it back. And I'm like, what? So then the person that got her tried to give her their gift. She refused to take it. She actually opened it, looked at it, and gave it back to her, which ticked that person off. Then she threatened that person. That person then left. It was a whole drama. And I'm like, what is happening? So I did not get a Secret Santa gift. Clearly, she did not look at the list anyway, because the stuff that was in the bag that she was gifting me was nothing that was on my list, because we all gave a list out. So I was like, okay, whatever. And she's new, so she don't know me like that. Whatever. So then she changed her story 3 or 4 times about why she did it. It all came back to religious things, but I'm like, okay, whatever. But my thing is, why did you continue to buy the gift and then bring it in and set it under the tree with all the other gifts? Why would you do that? And then immediately take it back. So that for me was kind of a tower moment. I let it go pretty quickly, but at the same time I was like, what is happening? Like, you just don't do that. It was crazy. And then, of course, we went Christmas Eve that night to my mother-in-law's to do Christmas Eve. And like 4 people were sick, and I've been sick ever since. Not like a cold. I don't know what it is, because one minute I'm fine, and the next minute I am wore out, and I just chalk that up to being busy at work, but I could be wore out and like miserable. It's all sinus related, so my head is just like not right. And of course all the drainage in the night, so my voice is like weird in the morning, which you've probably been listening to this whole time. So to say this was a tower month was an understatement. So before I run out of time, I'm going to show y'all some cards. So one of my probably favorite tower cards ever is from the Tarot of the Sidhe. This is, again, how I feel most of the time about the tower card. It's breaking out of the old and coming into your own power. And that's what I feel like here in this card. It's so stunning. So stunning. And then we have one of my oldest favorites. This is from the Fairy Lights Tarot. You can see they've all made it out of the building. You can slowly see the smoke from it collapsing, or the dust from it literally collapsing in on itself. I don't know why, but I love this card. I don't know why. It's just weird like that. I think it's a beautiful card. Beautiful card. I think it's the butterfly that's leading the charge out of the building fascinates me. And then we have the Slow Tarot backs, and I love that it's a house of cards, because even before I got into tarot, I love playing cards. I love any kind of playing card game. My family on my mom's side, and that's what they brought up. My cousins all brought up at my uncle's funeral was, I remember playing cards and doing this and this with the cards, and my family's big on cards. Which, in hindsight, transitioning into tarot is no big deal, right? After being around playing cards my whole life and people using them for different things. Which I was never allowed to do because I was always younger, and then I'm like, but yeah, I just never got to do it. Then we have the, oh my god, Elemental Wisdom Tarot. I love this tower card. First of all, it's a lighthouse. I love anything lighthouse. Second of all, it's beautiful. And third of all, there are stars inside the tower. So it's almost like, in order for the night to shine, this tower moment had to happen. And I think that's beautiful. Beautiful. And then we have, which I've read to you guys, my tower video I did, the Unfinished Business Tarot. I love that it's a lighthouse, or not a lighthouse, a water tower. I love the sunflowers in there. Anything with the sunflower in it, I'm a sucker for. And then we have the Supernova Tarot, which is a high-heeled boot, broken, and I freaking love it. And I love that they have the planetary symbol on here as well. But look at that. It's a little mini tower. There's windows in there. They're on fire. And it broke. I think that's pretty cool. And I do want to read that one. real quick before I let y'all go. My dog's looking at me like she wants out, but I just let her out. Ugh, but she's such a butthole. The Devil, the Tower. It says, upright, shattered certainties, liberation, destroying to rebuild. When rigidity reaches its peak, an explosion is inevitable. It's an anticipated event, a forceful release from an unbearable pattern. Despite its predictability, the descent creates a surprising roar, echoing unexpectedly. To fall and rise with greater strength, we need a solid foundation, setting the stage for a more resilient journey forward. Reversed, focusing on the fall, refusing to rise again, experiencing loss. The tower we relied on has crumbled. We chose to ignore the signs that it wouldn't stand much longer, and now, crash. We're left on all fours, falling to the ground, yet we lack the resilience to exert ourselves and rise again. For the weight of pain and shame is simply overwhelming. However, within adversity lies the potential for growth, an opportunity to learn and build a more promising future. That's beautiful. And I've not read that, and I've been anxious to read that from that book, because I think this is a cool tower card. Anyway, I've rambled on long enough. That's what I have for you guys. That's my card of the month of December of 2024. That wraps up my year ahead spread for 2024. I'm so excited. I can close the book on this one, and we're done with it. And I'm anxious to pull for the next year, just to see how accurate everything really truly is. But if you have any questions, comments, concerns, don't hesitate to comment below. If you like this video, give me a thumbs up. If you want to see more, please subscribe. And don't forget to hit that notification button so you're alerted to any future videos. And y'all have a good night. Bye.